Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Western Wednesday. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Today, our Western Wednesday session is going to be focusing on the College of Education and Human Development here at Western. So my name is Val Horwath. I am the Manager of Recruitment and Outreach here for the College of Education and Human Development specifically. Before we get started, a little bit about myself. I am a Bronco through and through. Both my parents went to Western and graduated from there. I did my undergraduate career at WMU as well. I did a bachelor's in communication and Spanish. And now I'm working here full time and also pursuing my master's. So I'm really excited to be here today for Western Wednesday, answering your questions. If at any point you do have questions during this session, we would love for it to be interactive. So please don't hesitate to ask those. There will be a little speech bubble icon that you can select, and so you can type in your questions, and then we'll be able to answer those for you as well. I'll also be sharing my contact information at the end of our session today too, so if there are any questions that you want to ask later or anything like that, you'll be able to get in touch with us as well. So again, thank you for being here today. The College of Education and Human Development here at Western is located primarily on our main campus, which is in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And so we are located in a few different buildings on our campus, and we'll talk through that. We're also going to talk today about some of the different programs that we have, the different majors, both on the teacher education and on the human development side of our college. We'll talk through some of our different student services that we have available for you, scholarships, things like that, internships and classrooms, as well as some of those frequently asked questions that we do get from our prospective students that are interested in our majors. So we're going to be covering a lot, but like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to jump in at any time. Go ahead and feel free to introduce yourself as well. If you are tuning in, feel free to let us know who you are, maybe where you're from, what major or career that you're thinking about, and so then we can be sure to talk about those as well today. So Western's foundation is actually pretty unique to the College of Education and Human Development. So Western was actually founded as a teacher's college back in 1903. And so with that, that's our foundation for the university. And so we are very excited about that because it means that for over 115 years, we have been training future educators, teachers, people in the field of education. So obviously, Western and our college have grown a lot since then. So Western offers a lot of majors now other than education. If you've tuned into any of our other Western Wednesday sessions, you've been able to hear about those. If not, I definitely encourage you to check those out. And then even on the College of Education and Human Development side of things, we have grown a lot since then too. So we are still very strong in our teacher education programs, and we have also grown to offer a whole range of human development programs as well. So we're going to talk about those in just a minute so that you can see all the different majors that fall under our college. But this is just kind of an overview for you. So you can see we've also expanded our buildings on campus. If you have come on a campus tour or taken part in the virtual campus tour that our admissions office offers. So Sangren Hall is the primary home of the College of Education and Human Development. You might hear me call it CEHD throughout the session also. That's our acronym that we call ourselves since our name is a little bit longer. So Sangren Hall is our main home. It's our education building here on campus. So all of our main offices in the college are located here. So if you've ever come through for a tour, you've been able to see those spaces, as well as 4 of our 6 departments. Advising, student success, education, library, dean's office, different things like that. And I'll get more into those services a little bit later today. And then a lot of our human development programs are also located in the Student Recreation Center for our human performance and health education programs, and then also in Corman Hall for our family and consumer sciences programs. And so with that, Also, Sangren Hall is the newest academic building on campus, so we're really excited about that, coming from the foundation of the university to the newest academic building. So it's a really great place to learn, to have class, to hang out with your friends, and to be part of the College of Education and Human Development. So now we're going to get into a little bit about the different majors that we have in the college that we offer. And we're going to start with the teacher education majors, and then we'll also talk about the human development majors. So one thing that's good to know, within Western Michigan University, we have about 23,000 students on the whole campus, undergraduate, graduate, so there's a wide range of students with different interests here. In the College of Education and Human Development specifically, we have almost 3,400 students. So on the undergrad side, we have just a little over 2,000 students, and then just a little over 1,300 graduate students as well. We have a lot of graduate programs in our college. And so with that, we're pretty evenly split right now between the teacher education and the human development programs as far as numbers go, which is nice. You get really that smaller school feel within the college, and especially within our majors, focusing on small class sizes and things like that, even though you also get all of the opportunities and benefits of, a large public research university, D1. We have a lot of student organizations. I'll talk later about some of our specific ones as well, but you kind of get the best of both worlds in that specialized, individualized focus within your program, and then all the great benefits that Western has to offer. So we're going to go through the education programs. Again, if you see one that you are interested in and have more questions on, feel free to just let me know. So this is a list of the different education majors that we have available at the university. So there's a wide range depending on what grade levels and subject areas that you are interested in teaching. So we do offer art and music education at the university. I'm not going to touch on those too specifically today because they are kind of jointly run between the College of Fine Arts and the College of Education and Human Development. So both of those are K-12 certificates. So you can teach any grade that you want for art and music education. Basically, you get all of those content area classes through the College of Fine Arts. So we want you to take the music classes from the music professors, work in the art studios, and then come over to us for those education pedagogy methods classes. We will do all your placements for your student teaching internships and things like that. So that's how those work. And then also you can check out the Fine Arts webinar session that we did too for more information on those majors. So moving on, there are a couple different ways that you can do elementary education here at Western. These are our most popular education majors, so that we have a lot of students that want to teach elementary age students. So both early childhood elementary education and the kind of regular elementary education degree, what they have in common is a K through 5 core. So regardless of which major you pick, you'll be certified K-5 in all subjects. So in Michigan, that means language arts, math, social studies, and science. And then what you build on that determines which of those two majors you pick. So if you want to be certified really little kids, preschool, early start, head start type programs, then early childhood builds on a ZS endorsement in the state of Michigan, which is birth through age 8 or around 3rd grade. So essentially with that major, you get birth through 5th grade for those programs. And then if you want to build on the middle school end, maybe like working with older students, the grades 6 through 8, you build on, and so you'll choose one of those main subject areas, so math, language arts, social studies, or science, and take additional classes in that area. That becomes your content area major that you get certified in to teach at the middle school level as well. Now with both of those, you can also teach grades K through 8 in what's called a self-contained classroom. And so you don't see too many of these classrooms anymore, but that would be where maybe at the middle school level in a smaller school, you are the only teacher, teaching primarily the same students all day, as opposed to teaching the same subject all day to different students that rotate in every hour. So that is an option as well with those certificates, but it is a little bit less common. So that is the two primary ways that people do elementary ed at Western. Physical and health education. This is a K through 12 certificate. And so you get to teach, again, any grade that you want. And Western was the first school in the state of Michigan to offer physical and health education in one combined program. So you get equally certified to teach physical education, K through 12, and health education, K through 12. The reason that we combined them is because we found out that principals, when they're hiring, are looking for students that had both. And a lot of our students were doing both certifications anyway. And so this just gives you that option in one seamless program. So we are always making sure that we're listening to what's going on currently in the world of education, what schools and principals are wanting, and making sure that we're adjusting our programs accordingly so that they're actually meeting the needs when people are going out and hiring. And then secondary education, if you are interested in teaching grades 6 through 12, that middle school or high school age group, secondary education is a lot more focused in the subject area than what you see in the elementary or early childhood majors that we talked about. So for secondary education, you actually are going to dive a lot deeper into your content area by getting a bachelor's degree in it. So we offer a variety of different secondary education content areas at Western, ranging from English, social studies, Spanish, integrated science. There's a whole slew of them that you can teach. And so you'll get a bachelor's degree through our College of Arts and Sciences in that content area. And through that, there are some different undergraduate education classes that you take, some of those intro classes. You get experience in the school during your undergrad time. And then to really focus on the pedagogy and the methods, you will complete our one-year master's degree in secondary education. So this happens after that bachelor's degree in your content area, and you'll be placed in the schools year-round for a full academic year. So that master's degree is summer to summer. And so you get to see the setup of classrooms in August with your mentor teacher while you're taking your pedagogy and methods classes, and you're in the schools doing that student teaching that year all the way through to the end of June when the school year closes out. So you get more content experience and you get more classroom experience, which makes you very hireable when you graduate. And then our special education program is unique as well. So special education, again, back to a bachelor's degree. So secondary ed is the only one that's not enclosed in a bachelor's degree. Special education in Michigan is a K-12 certificate as well. So again, you can teach any grade of special education that you'd like. And then at Western, the areas of special education that we focus in are learning disabilities and emotional impairments. And so with that, you'll get additional focus in there. The state of Michigan requires you for special ed to have what's called a base certification. So at Western, we offer elementary education with that. So you'll get certified elementary K-5 and special education K through 12. And then the workforce education and development programs, these are 6 through 12 certification programs. And so the programs that we have are industrial technology education, business education, and family and consumer sciences teacher education. So if you're interested in teaching, but maybe you don't want to teach like a traditional math or science subject area, you could teach classes like business marketing, accounting, wood shop, metals, drafting, childcare classes, nutrition, personal finance, any of those different classes that you typically find as electives in middle school or high school settings, you can teach with workforce education and development. So that is a brief overview of the different teacher education majors that we offer at the university. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. So moving on into our human development programs that we have, you can see that there's a wide variety of them. So ranging everywhere from health and wellness to design, people-focused programs, family, children, things like that. So there's a lot of different options, and some of these are really good too if maybe you're thinking that you like working with children and families, but maybe you don't want to be a teacher, you don't want to be in a traditional classroom setting. There's a lot of really great options that can let you use those same skills and work with those same age groups, but in a different type of career or a different environment. So Child and family development. This program focuses obviously on children and families outside of the classroom. So this is a non-teaching program. And so this would let you work with children in like a daycare setting, child psychology or social work, careers such as child life specialist, which is a family liaison in a medical setting. All of those are things that you can do in child and family development. Exercise science, obviously one of our health and wellness programs. It's a pretty broad-based health and wellness program, and it has 9 different elective track options that you can choose from to specialize in different health careers. So with exercise science, you can use that for pre-med, pre-physical therapy, pre-occupational therapy, pre-PA, chiropractic, cardiac rehabilitation, personal fitness, exercise physiology, and pre-athletic training. So there's a lot of different options with that let you specialize that degree. Family studies is very similar to child and family development, except it can span the whole lifestyle or the whole lifespan. So you could still work with children and families, but it could also be working with adults all the way up to elderly populations and aging studies. Our fashion program has 2 different sides to it, depending on which side of the fashion industry you want to work in. So the design and development side is kind of more that creative side of the fashion world. So working more with product design, promotion, things like that, actually creating the garments, being a personal stylist, and all of the things that go into those careers. And then on the opposite side of that, fashion merchandising is really kind of the business side of the fashion world. And so people with fashion merchandising are the people who are doing the promotion of the products that the designers have created. They're doing retail buying, they are setting up storefronts. There's a lot of different opportunities that go into that business side of the fashion world. And then similarly, interior design is kind of another one of those creative art-focused majors. And so interior design focuses on the form and function of interior spaces. So it's not quite architecture and it's not quite interior decorating, it's what happens in between there. So all about those interior spaces in the building, how they are set up to best meet the needs of their users. With nutrition and dietetics, another one of our health and wellness focused programs, this is mostly gearing students toward the career path of a registered dietitian. So nutrition and dietetics is all about how does the biology of our body interact with the chemistry of what's in our food. So it's a very science-based program, and Western prepares you for all of the different requirements that you need to get into those internships that you need to become a registered dietitian. And then recreation and sport management, again, are kind of 2 concentrations of the same umbrella program. So these also both focus on the business side of the sports world, leisure time activities, things like that. So recreation management is going to be more focused on those leisure activities. So think parks and rec, or managing theme parks, cruise ships, different things like that. And then sport management obviously is going to be specifically the business side of the sport world. So that could be anything from sport law, sport media, managing teams and players, facilities, advertising and promotion, sports statistics. There's a lot of different opportunities that go into that program as well. Youth and community development is, again, kind of similar to our family studies, child and family development programs, and it focuses specifically on adolescent age. So that's really the main difference between those 3 programs, is the age that you want to work with. And so with youth and community development, that is specifically focusing on adolescent students in out-of-school time activities. So think after-school programs, boys and girls clubs, different community organizations, nonprofits, and all of those different opportunities. And then last but not least, workforce education and development. You saw this name on the teaching slide also, but we have a non-teaching major in it as well. And so workforce education and development is really focused on that career readiness, right? So whether you're working maybe at a community college or out in the community, helping people identify the careers they want to go into, the paths to get there. So kind of connecting people with career pathways, businesses, and things like that. So it's a really unique program that we have. So that is an overview of all of the different majors that we have in the college. There's quite a variety. So if you want any information or anything like that, again, feel free to go to our website, and I'll also provide contact information at the end if you have any specific questions about those programs. So now that we've talked about the programs that fall under the College of Education and Human Development, I'm going to spend just a minute talking about some things that are specific to the teacher education programs that we have, since there tend to be a few more requirements in those programs since they are regulated at the state level. And so for any program in our college, there's not a specific application process that you have to go through that's different than just applying to the university and indicating your interest in that major on the application. So it's not like, if you want to be a theater major and you have to audition for that program separately. It's not like that. But some of our programs do have what we call a secondary admission process that happens once you're already a current student here. So our education programs, as well as our interior design and nutrition and dietetics majors, are separated into kind of a pre-professional level or a lower level, and then a professional level or an upper level in the program. And so there is kind of a checkpoint that happens just to make sure that you have satisfied any requirements and that you're solid in the foundations of those programs before moving into the upper level. So for teacher education specifically, this is kind of what the breakdown looks like while you're in the program. So your first couple of years, we want to really focus on those content area classes. We call them your what classes. So what are you going to teach? We want you to become an expert in that area. And then we kind of transition, and then your next few years, we're focusing on your how classes. So how do you actually translate those concepts to your students? And so the reason that it's set up that way is because it's more effective if you already know what you're going to teach, and then we teach you how to teach it. It wouldn't work very well if it's the other way around. And so throughout that, you get a series of pre-internships that, again, gets you exposed to classroom experience on a gradual level. So we're going to step you up. We're not going to throw you into your student teaching semester with no experience. So we're going to gradually build you up while you're still taking those classes. You can apply the different concepts that you're learning while you're in the schools a couple days a week. And then obviously the very final step is your student teaching internship semester. So for most of our programs, it's the last semester before you graduate. For some of our programs like special education, secondary education, for example, it will be a full year that you have in the classroom. So it is a little bit program specific. Currently, most of our education students get their programs done in 4.5 years is pretty typical, sometimes 5. We do have some programs that are 5 years by design, like special education, because you have those 2 certifications. But just due to all of the requirements and things like that in the state of Michigan, pretty much across the state, education programs are 4.5 or 5 years, depending on the area that you want to go into. Obviously, that might be a little bit different depending on if you are bringing in any different AP, IB, dual enrollment credits, things like that. So definitely make sure that you're talking with your academic advisor or reaching out to us if you have any of those situations and you want to see how that will translate to your program here at WMU. So in that vein, once you are a student here, again, this is not for admission to Western as an incoming student. This is once you're here, typically in your sophomore year is when you'll be applying for that upper level. And so there are a few general areas that you're going to be working through in your first couple of years. So you can see there's some ranges on here. That's because the requirements do vary a little bit based on each specific major. However, the general areas are the same for all of our education programs. So first you'll complete your prerequisite courses. So that includes just some general courses that everybody has to take, and then also some of those intro education and content area classes. And there's a certain number of credit hours that you have to meet. So for some of our majors, that's 35 credits like elementary, early childhood, all the way up to like 56 credits for the special education program. Again, if you're bringing in any outside credit, that can help you go toward that limit. And then most of our education programs have a 3.0 GPA requirement. So that is to get in the program, and then we'll also be looking for you to maintain that throughout the education program as well. So again, that's your GPA once you get here to Western, so make sure that you're doing well in those classes your first couple of years. And then, of course, we have to have you pass a background check. So don't do anything that would cause you to fail a background check, and that's through a vendor through the state of Michigan. And then there are some content area proficiencies, so we want to make sure that you're proficient in reading, writing, and math. There are a few different ways that you can accomplish that through different SAT subscores, through an associate's degree if you are transferring, or doing early middle college, and also through completion of just some of those prereq classes here at Western that are built into your degree. So that's nothing that you have to worry about, just more for you to know what your first couple of years are going to look like here at the university, and just know that we're going to be making sure that you are fully prepared to go into those upper level classes. And in order to get you prepared, you'll be working a lot with your academic advisor. And so they are here basically to make sure that you are doing everything that you need to, checking all the boxes in whatever major that you have, both here for your major at Western and then for any career planning that you need to do or things like that. And so for that, I kind of talked about if you did any AP, IB, dual enrollment, a lot of students ask, what does that make my program look like? How can that help me, and how do those credits transfer? So it's a little bit different, again, based on what major you're interested in. But in general, especially if you're interested in one of the teacher education majors in our college, definitely make sure that you're working with the academic advisors here at Western, just because for some of our programs, all of your gen eds are built into that education major. And so there are some very specific classes that can transfer into the program, and some that would transfer to the university, but maybe not work toward that education major. So we do have transfer guides for all Michigan community colleges for each of our majors. So if you are thinking about, doing any of those dual enrollment classes or summer classes or things like that, make sure that you're taking a look at those and reaching out to us. A couple other engagement opportunities that we have study abroad programs in each of our departments. So they range from just a couple weeks in the summer, short-term faculty-led program, all the way up to a full semester abroad, and even the opportunity to do your student teaching internship abroad. So of course we have scholarships available to help with the cost of those, and we really support that, and students are able to work that into their program. Also, every major that we've talked about today in the College of Education and Human Development has an internship or field experience built into the program. And so this is really great because it gives you the opportunity to have hands-on experience in your career, in the real world, in a job that you would actually want to go into before you even graduate. And so because of that, and then because also we have an academic-based student organization for each one of our majors, that also gives you professional development and networking opportunities, both with the community and then also with students in other years or majors in your program. Because of those, we have a 93% post-grad engagement rate, which means that within 3 months of graduation, our students are either employed or continuing their education. And so we're really excited that over 9 in 10 of our students have a very quick turnaround on being able to do something with their degree from Western. Also to help with that, each spring we have an education career fair. So we bring in school districts from around the state, around the country, all looking to hire our teachers as well. So there's a lot of opportunities to be really engaged with both your studies and your future career, all while you're a student here at Western. And then to dovetail with our academic advising, every student in our college has a student success coach. And so the student success coach, they are there to help you with everything kind of outside of your degree planning and things like that. So whether you need help with study skills, if you're feeling homesick, if you need help getting connected on campus, anything like that, they are your connection to all the different resources that Western has. There's so many that sometimes it's hard to keep track of, but it's really easy to remember where your one student success coach's office is. So they are here to make sure that you have whatever you need to be successful, because we know that being a student doesn't stop each time that you leave the classroom. Okay, so now something that I want to talk about is our different scholarship opportunities that we have with the college, especially because this process is a little bit different this year. So if you've had older siblings or friends who have come to Western in the past, the process might be a little bit different than what their experience was. So something to know is that at Western, we do have scholarships for students in the College of Education and Human Development, and those are separate from the different scholarships that might be offered by the Office of Admissions or the Office of Financial Aid or different things like that. So there is that available for you to take advantage of, and I'm going to tell you how to do it. So basically, in order to be considered for our scholarships, if you are an incoming student, so incoming freshman or incoming transfer student at the undergraduate level, obviously, you need to apply to the university and indicate one of the majors in CEHD on your application. So one of the majors that we talked about today. And what that will do is once you are accepted to the university, that will open up a scholarship supplement in your Gold Gateway application portal. And so you want to make sure that you are logging back into that application portal once you get accepted with enough time to complete that by January 15th. So that's our deadline for next year's scholarships. So things work pretty far in advance here in university land. So we just have a couple of quick questions in addition to the different questions that you were able to answer on your application to the university. And so make sure that you are remembering to log back in and do that so that you can consider yourself for our college level scholarships as well. And so the deadline again for that is January 15th. And we try to get those decisions turned around to you by the beginning of March, because we know that that also factors into your college decision. So there are different scholarships available based on merit, some that are based on specific school locations, certain majors, things like that, some that are specifically for incoming freshmen or transfer students, and some that are general as well. And that's also something that each year as a current student, you are able to reapply for those scholarships so that you can be considered for them every year that you're a student here at Western. Okay, so a couple of other common questions that we get from students are about some of those different support services that our college offers. And so we have, in addition to the academic advising that I talked about and the student success coaching that I talked about, we also have an Office of Clinical Experiences and an Office of Teacher Certification. And so these two offices focus specifically with our teacher education side of things. And so they work with, on the clinical experiences side, they do all your placements for your student teaching internships. And so they make sure that for the pre-internships and your student teaching semester, you get balanced internship experiences in the different grade levels and subject areas that you're going to be certified in, as well as in different types of schools, districts, and classrooms as well, so that you have a lot of experience to draw from in your future careers. And then our Office of Teacher Certification, they work with students to make sure that you have everything that you need all lined up to send off to the state to get certified. A common question that we get for teacher education majors, especially if you're tuning in from outside of the state of Michigan, or maybe if you are thinking that you might want to leave Michigan to teach someday, is about how those teaching certificates can transfer to different states. The good news is that Michigan tends to have a few more requirements than other states do. And so because of that, our education programs are sometimes a little bit longer, but they're very transferable around the country. So other states really like to see Michigan teachers and Michigan teaching certificates. So it is up to each state's Department of Education. For example, right now, we have a reciprocity agreement with Illinois. So it's very easy for our students from Illinois to go back and teach once they graduate from Western Michigan. And then other states, sometimes you would have to take that state's version of the certification test. Some states automatically accept them. Sometimes it might be, a class that's a little bit different. So the good news is that it's an option, and that's what we want you to know. It's definitely an option. If you have a place in mind that you are thinking that you might want to go afterwards, make sure to let your advisor know that early so that we can look into what those different requirements are, if there are any, and build those into your programs instead of being something that gets added on for you at the end. But our Office of Teacher Certification, they help to facilitate the different paperwork and things like that that comes with that verification if you do want to take your teaching certificate outside of the state of Michigan. I also encourage you to follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at WMUCEHD. So we want to show you all the different things that we have to offer. So if you have done, our campus tour or our virtual tour, you've had the opportunity to see our different hands-on learning environments. If you haven't had those opportunities, we post different things like that on our social media, our labs, our specialty classrooms that we have in the college, which I'll talk about in just a minute. And then we also will post different important dates like our scholarship deadlines, different events that are happening. So it's a really great way to get a snapshot of what life is like in CEHD before you get here. And so speaking of some of those different specialty labs and classrooms that we have a lot of hands-on learning environments in addition to your internship time out in your career. Also on campus, we have different hands-on learning for you as well. So we have different specialty labs. So our exercise science students get to work with different exercise and physiology testing equipment here on campus, located in the Student Recreation Center on campus. And then our fashion design students get to work in our sewing lab. We have 4 different interior design drafting labs for each year in the program. We have a full service food service kitchen for our nutrition and dietetics students to use. And then our education majors get to use our specialty education classrooms in Sangren Hall. So we have a classroom for creative arts education, science education, social studies education, and early childhood education. Also in the building, we have a reading clinic with a children's library and some different observation rooms as well. So all of those contain different specialty equipment that you might actually find out in your classrooms. And so while you're learning your different methods and pedagogy classes, you're getting to use the materials that you're actually going to have out in your career one day. So again, that hands-on experience makes that transition from your degree all the way to your career really be seamless so that you can go out being confident and being prepared that you are going to be successful in not only your first career, but in every job that you have. So that's something that is really a priority for us, and we would love to show you that. So again, make sure that you connect with us, or if you haven't already, we would love to have you come on a tour as well. And so the last thing that I'm going to leave you with is something that we really just want to make sure that you know about our college if you are considering coming to Western and being a major in the College of Education and Human Development. Really, our focus in the college is a family atmosphere. So you will be part of our CEHD family. And so we are very excited to welcome you to our CEHD family, and we take care of you like family as well. And so you have a lot of different personal interaction in place with your academic advisor, your student success coach, our dedicated professors and instructors who are here to see you succeed as well. And so we're here to make sure you have the resources that you have to have a great experience. And so just know that you'll be taken care of and that we can't wait to have you come here and have a great experience. And so with that, if you do have any other questions, feel free, please let us know, take a screenshot of this email address. I'm the one that checks this email address. So it's cehd-outreach@wmich.edu. So whether it's later tonight or whether it's 3 months down the road from now when you're trying to make your decision, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to send you more information about anything that I have talked about this afternoon. If you'd like to come and schedule a visit, if you have any questions, I'm happy to help you get any information that you need to make the best decision for you. So with that, thank you so much for being with us here today for Western Wednesday, and we really hope to see you in the future. Go Broncos!